everyone, this is Dr. Sneha Sagar from Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, LJ Institute of Pharmacy. I welcome you all in the e-lecture series of LJ Institute of Pharmacy. In our previous session of semester 5, we have discussed antihypertensive agents, classification, as well as the drugs which acts on the sympathetic system. We have covered that. So in today's session we are going to discuss few other classes of the drugs. So let us start today's session. So this is the general classification of the drugs which are used for the treatment of hypertension. We have divided into 5 different classes, and I think we have covered the drugs that affect the sympathetic system. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about vasodilators and calcium channel blockers. So first we will start with the vasodilator classification. So vasodilators can be divided into two different types, arterial vasodilators and balanced vasodilators. We have the examples like hydralazine, minoxidil, diazoxides, and sodium nitroprusside. And all these drugs are important for your examination. So vasodilators, as the name indicated, they lower the blood pressure in normal and hypertensive patients. So this is due to the selective arterial vasodilation, like hydralazine, that is particularly more selective for arterioles. However, sodium nitroprusside affects both arteries and veins. So these agents produce fall in systolic as well as diastolic blood pressure. Also, they decrease the total peripheral resistance and also the heart rate. The major side effects of these vasodilators are like headache, palpitation, nausea, tachycardia, also the lupus erythematosus symptoms that is associated with the usage of these vasodilators. So this is the first drug, hydralazine hydrochloride. So as I've said, as the name indicate, it dilates the arteries. The structure of arterial vasodilator hydralazine. Remember the structure of hydrazine, then it is easy for you to write the structure of hydralazine. So this is the structure of hydralazine. Next we have balanced vasodilator. In that we have minoxidil. Minoxidil is not widely used for hypertension as minoxidil has severe side effect like it can produce the hair growth. So it is nowadays useful for the treatment of hair growth for the bald patient and not for the hypertension. Another drug is diazoxide. Diazoxide is again rarely used antihypertensive agent, and this is the structure of diazoxide. Next we have sodium nitroprusside. Sodium nitroprusside, you must have used this sodium nitroprusside reagent in your laboratory. This is used for treatment of cardiac function in the patient with left ventricular failure. Sodium nitroprusside, remember the structure. Next class of antihypertensive agent is calcium channel blockers like nifedipine, verapamil, diltiazem, felodipine, amlodipine. So these are all the classes of the calcium channel blockers. So I want to tell you that if it is asked that write the classification of hypertension, then you don't have to give subdivision of this class. But if it is asked like write short note on calcium channel blockers, then you have to give the subcategories of this class. And calcium channel blockers are divided into three major different categories. I'll discuss it in my next slide. First, we will cover the mechanism of action. So, mechanism of calcium channel blocker is that the contractile process of cardiac and vascular smooth muscle depends on the movement of extracellular calcium ions and the cells through the specification channels like slow calcium channels, voltage sensitive calcium 2 plus channels like L type. Slow channels mediate the entry of the extracellular calcium into the smooth muscle and cardiac myocytes and sinoatrial and atrioventricular nodal cells in response to electrical depolarization. So in both smooth muscle and cardiac myocyte, calcium 2 plus is a trigger for contraction. If we inhibit calcium channel function, then in that case it leads to the relaxation, especially in the arterial beds. So these drugs also produce negative inotropic and chronotropic effect in the heart. So this calcium channel blockers block these channels and produce depression of automaticity and conduction velocity of this impulses in the heart, and they also produce the relaxation of vascular smooth muscle and thereby decreases the blood pressure. These are the uses of calcium channel blockers. They are widely used for angina pectoris, hypertension, cardiac arrhythmia, myocardial ischemia, migraine, and many more. And the side effects associated with calcium channel blockers are flushing, headache, swelling in ankle, and verapamil basically causes the constipation and decrease in the heart rate. So as I've said, it is divided into three different subcategories. One is phenyl alkyl amine derivatives. We have two examples, verapamil and bepiridil. So verapamil, remember the structure of verapamil. It is important for you to write in examination. So it is like phenyl group is present, alkyl chain is present, and amine derivative is present. So here phenyl alkyl amine derivative verapamil. Next we have bepiridil. In this case also phenyl group plus alkyl chain plus amine group is present. So that is bepiridil. Next class is benzothiazepine derivatives. We have one drug, diltiazem. So in this case, benzothiazepine. So here is the structure of benzothiazepine, and remember the other substituent. So this is about the diltiazem. I have not given the specific mechanism of action here, but you can write the general mechanism of action for all these categories of the drugs. Another class is dihydropyridine derivatives. In that we have all the dipines like nifedipine, amlodipine, phalodipine, nimodipine, nicardipine, and many more. In nifedipine, the pyridine ring system is present, and this aster group plus nitro group is present. In case of amlodipine, few modifications are there. Like instead of nitro group, we have here chloro group, and here the aster group is different. The side chain is longer compared to the nifedipine here, and all these are the dihydropyridine derivatives. Means the carbon, the yes, this nitrogen it has hydrogen, and here this carbon also it has hydrogen. So this is 1 4 on the one position, and fourth position we have hydrogen. So dihydro 1 4 dihydropyridine derivatives. Another is phalodipine. In this case also, if you remember the structure of nifedipine, then you can learn all these structures. So in case of phalodipine, we have two chloro groups here, and one change is that this aster group is ethylated, whereas here it is methylated. Next we have nicardipine. In case of nicardipine also, the side chain of this aster group is longer compared to the phalodipine as well as the nifedipine. Okay, next we have nimodipine. In case of nimodipine, again the nitro group is present, and the two different side chains of aster group is present on the 1,4 dihydropyridine ring system. So this is all about today's session. We have covered vasodilators and calcium channel blockers. In next session, we will deal with renin-angiotensin system and diuretics. So what can be asked from this session? It can be asked like define and classify antihypertensive agents with suitable examples, classify calcium channel blockers, and discuss dihydropyridine in detail. So you have to write all the structures of dihydropyridine. So this is the bibliography. You can refer this book for your further preparation. Thank you very much. Please do subscribe our YouTube channel Pharma Ignite. Thank you.